Alright, 7:30 in the morning on the 5th of February. Yeah, that's it. 25 degrees inside. Yeah. Door frozen shut. This is the first time I've actually seen it snowing here. And we have got a lot of snow. Oh, and bunny tracks. Holy cow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's like it's beautiful. Snow on the motorcycle. All right. I'm going to call this an inside day. Yeah. Oh, and solar panels covered. I'm going to have to go brush those off. Tracks in the snow. That's just hilarious. Huh. Okay. Wow. I'm so glad I don't work today. Yeah, that's my coffee that's frozen. Yeah, that's how cold it is inside. Yeah, and that's why I've got that tent over the bed. That worked. I was so comfortable in bed. I mean, obviously a sleeping bag and blanket, but yeah, it is so warm in there when you get the tent, the blanket over you. That just holds all the warmth in. It's wonderful. That's 4 inches of snow. Holy cow. I didn't think it looked like that much. I think now that the sun is up, it might not stick to the panels because the panels are black, so we'll see. At least they don't have ice because it was raining for a while. That much. Cripes. I got 1 amp of charge. It's just fun watching looking where the rabbits have been going. Okay, I just cleared the panels. And it's sticking already. So that might be kind of pointless. Yeah, there's kind of a bright spot there. It probably shows up even that's where the sun is right now. So I am so glad I was home to see this though. These I mostly drained, and I was excited last night because I thought it was going to rain, right? So that's the second time I've had a motorcycle with snow on it. Last time was in the Yukon and I was riding it. That's a pretty cool drift. Yeah, last night it was howling. It's too late for my Christmas card, but It's starting to blow off the roof. That's all I needed. I'm going to go back inside now. Yeah, I'm seeing snow falling off the roof. Alright. Just brush our boots off here. Unless that's tracking it in. So yeah, I'm just... Okay, it's about 20 minutes after the last shot. I got the heater on high. I just wanted to test that because I've had this not work on high sometimes, but it might have been the valve on the propane wasn't putting out enough. So far it seems like it's working. I'll keep an eye on that. I'm at 27 degrees now. The heater just started, so that hasn't really done anything yet. Sun is definitely burning through, and it looks like the snow is virtually stopped. So I'm going to wait until after breakfast. That's kind of cool. In the windowsill. I'm going to wait until after I'm done eating. And then I'll go out and brush the panels off again. And otherwise, I have no other need to go outside. I'm going to just sit here and hold my oatmeal for a while. That does feel kind of nice. Yeah, it looks like the heater's working. I think last night, yeah, it's still cold on my ears. I should just, I'll just wear my ear. Usually in cold weather you'd have ear muffs. I'll just wear my headphones. That'll keep my ears warm. I don't need the I don't need the headphones. I'm just wearing them because they're comfortable. Another ear is. Anyway, yeah, that might have been a bad valve on the other tank. I mean, I never noticed it on the stove, and as long as I was on low, it was fine. But when I tried to crank it up, it would not work right. Like, it would literally burn itself out. Good. Alright, so... yeah. So... that's just a good visual. Anyway. Yeah, that heater's working great on high. Go figure. Showing 29 in here already. Oh man, yeah, we're getting a lot of sun now. This is good. Solar's going up too, so I think from the time I brushed off the panels, there wasn't very much. It was slowing down already, which is great. So I think whatever sun hits the panel should warm them up enough that the snow will run off, and then we'll be okay. But I'll check them as soon as I just didn't want to. This is nice and warm now. I don't want to not eat it, which I should work on that. I didn't think of it till I was finished, but it would have been tempting to leave one panel covered just to see how long it would take for the sun to melt it. Because I think they're slick enough, and especially in the winter position when they're steep, it would probably just slough off eventually. And if the sun could get through it, it would heat the black and warm it up because it wasn't super opaque. Alright, 9:37 a.m. on the 5th of February. I was running the heater for a little bit this morning and I just shut it off. It's up to 36 inside. Let's go out and take a look, see how things are. It's actually really warm outside already. I'm dripping. Well, the roof is dripping. So the roof is, or the snow is melting on the roof. That's the word, yeah. That's never very accurate. I don't know. It shows 50, but anyway. The snow is, I swept the step here and it was already feeling wet. So it's definitely warming up. I got a few tracks where the bunny or whatever ran around out here. Just wanted to get a shot before it actually melts. It almost seems wrong to make tracks out here. I measured it while it was still snowing at about 4 inches. And at the time it was really fluffy. It was warm, or it was cold enough to be fluffy. Now it's starting to stick. You can make snowballs. I really don't feel like it, but you can see it's melting off of the truck already. We should at least get the water off of this, because that's going to melt and come down into the rain collection. When it melts, yeah, it's starting to drip into there already. So we're getting something out of that. It blew snow all the way into here, though. Should probably work on a door. And basically nothing in here is something I worry about if it gets dirty or wet. So it's some protection, but it's not a perfect solution. So I kind of don't worry about it. But that's, you can, so like, we get drifting, right? Like my workbench. That's like probably closer to 6 inches on there. I'm tempted, you know, to grab a bucket or something and go at least to the drifts and fill up the rain barrels with snow. You know, so then when they melt, you'd get something. The amount of effort involved. I don't need the water right now, so I'm probably not going to spend too much time with it. It's just because I think it's 6-1, but that totally depends on how dense the snow is. So if you had 6 gallons of snow, it'd be 1 gallon of water. So it's worth it if you were really desperate. You know, I've done it before. I remember melting snow on the stove because our water froze. So we'd go out and grab a bunch of snow, but it's a lot of snow just to get a little bit of water. So, holy cow. From here to there, to there, to there. Somebody was moving fast. Okay, let's just do this. 1, 2, 3. That's crazy. For a little bunny, that's a big hop. How funny is that? I'm used to seeing them just take little hops around, but anyway, is there anything I really wanted to get a picture of out here? There's a bird on the palm tree over there. I don't think it's going to show up though. It's just not something I'm used to seeing here. This is the first time since I moved out here that I've seen snow. When I worked for the Postal Service, I was living in that truck camper on the truck. And so this would have been 2 years ago. The 7th of December, because I remember it was Pearl Harbor Day, I woke up and I looked outside and there was snow on the ground. And I'm like, great, there's snow on the ground and I'm sleeping in this uninsulated truck camper. I don't think I had, maybe I had the insulation in there by then. I didn't use some of the bubble wrap insulation. But anyway, that time I never got home to see the snow, except there was one spot on the north side that there was like one snowball sitting on the ground. And I remember just like, that's kind of weird, but it was in a spot, probably, you know, something fell off the roof of the bus or something like that. And the sun never hit it, so there was one snowball out of all of that. So it was just kind of funny. But kind of a palm tree with snow on it. You don't see that very often. It's just, I don't know, I keep saying it's just so weird because, especially for this much. I've always known it was possible, you just don't expect it. And yeah, it was really windy last night. So parts of the roof have drifts on them behind the vents up there. And I haven't really sealed up anything yet as far as like the door. So I had a couple spots on the floor where little bits of snow blew through a crack. That's when I first realized there was snow. So I went back to bed. So yeah, let's see, it's melting now, but I don't really expect, it'll be interesting, I guess. Is it going to melt today or not, I guess is the question. It'll probably warm up enough. Bunny tracks there and there. Same bunny or two bunnies? First thing this morning, I brushed off the panels, and it was still snowing, and as I was walking back in the house, I looked back and they had snow on them already, but I was getting about 1 amp a charge, so I was like, all right, it was pretty early still. And I was kind of waiting to see if I would have to brush them off again, but since they're black, they do attract enough heat, so now that it's above freezing, they're clear, and so we're getting sun now, so that's good because I need the solar power. I was totally planning on going to get more water today, so I left the tank in the truck. It's not a big deal, but I'm not going to bother today. I'll wait till tomorrow or the next day, I guess. But the goal is to fill this up, or at least partially fill it. I don't know if I'm going to fill it all the way up or not, but really, if I get it up to, because that's a 1,500 gallon tank, if I fill it to 800 gallons, then I've got room for rainwater collection. So that's what I'm working on now, is figuring out what my next step is. Rain gutters, so that the house, we can collect water off of that. So yeah, all that snow that's up there on the house is just going to drip and hit the ground, but at least we'll be getting some of this water off of the shop into the rain barrels. Cactus in the snow. Alright, going back inside. Yeah, it's all dripping here. Didn't do a very good job building these ones. All that water wasted. Okay, this will be a fun experiment. I didn't spend a lot of time packing this, but it's warm enough that the snow is kind of packable already, right? So there's kind of a snowdrift right outside the door, so I just kind of scooped the pan, and that's what came out. All right, make some fire here. So the theory is, it takes about 6 units of snow to make 1 unit of water. Okay. What I've been doing, since I don't have hot and cold running water right now, is I'll just heat up a little bit of water on the stove so I can wash my hands when I'm using the restroom. So I figured, well, instead of wasting some water, since I got all that snow out there, let's just use that instead. So I'm not going to have to boil it or anything, but let's just melt it. And you can see how fast it's going down. That's going in real time. It's not a time lapse. And I think that's a 1 quart pan, because this one is the same size. Yeah, This one's 1 quart, so that one's probably 1 quart. Now, I don't think I'm going to have enough, so I'm going to fill this one up while I'm at it. Kind of see the same thing. I just scooped a bunch. It's going to make a mess, but out here it's going to evaporate, so I'm not too worried. Kind of pack it on. Put this in there. Alright, that's kind of cold. Now the thing of this is, it doesn't make sense to be burning propane just to make water, right? That's just kind of for science. I've got water. I could wash my hands with the water I got, but I was planning on heating up the water anyway. So why not, right? So the first one, I'm going to put it in here so we can measure it. This has got, there's 1 cup and 2 cups, and on the other side it's 250 milliliters, and so full is about half a liter, 500 milliliters. So we use that. If we weight it, we're not losing any weight, we're just, the snow is fluffy, is the idea, right? It's just kind of a fun experiment. I remember doing this as a kid. People always talk about it, but you don't see it very often. That's the first one. That's about a cup of water. And we're losing some of this one over the side. Get it back in there. You can see how high it was. The water is melting, hitting the flame. I'm going to leave that one separate. It's not warm enough yet, so I'm going to have to reheat it. I figure once that's done, I'll combine them. So between the two of them, I'll have enough to wash my hands. Where I scooped this from probably isn't super clean because some of it was blowing off the house or something. If I went out in the middle, I'd totally be okay drinking it. This one's a little bit discolored because I probably for more made up my coffee in that same pot, so it's got a little bit of a color to it. That's going to show up, but there's still a snowball in the middle and a bunch of water. Okay, now I can combine the two. And that melted the last of the snowball, so now I'm just going to warm it up a little bit. And anything left from that just in case it was contaminated with something. I'm just gonna dump in the dishes. Okay, that's probably warm enough. So it's like that. It's kind of a, from a practical point of view, yeah, I got water, but I've wasted propane getting it. All right. So let's see if I can do this without burning myself. Yeah, that'll work. So I got that. About another cup left, looks like. So that's how I'm going to wash my hands. Science. And then the last little bit. So all of that wasn't enough. I filled up the first one, and this one's about a cup. There's the cup right there. So not even a cup out of all that snow. Right? So that's why, yes, you could. When I was outside, I mentioned, yes, I could take, pick up all the snow, put it into the rain barrels. It'd be a fun project, but it's not worth the time. If I filled up every rain barrel, I'd end up with, it's either 30 gallons. So I'd end up with about 5 gallons of water out of 30 gallons of snow. It's pretty close. So it's worth it if you needed the water, but it would be a lot of time where I could just drive into town and get 200 gallons in the truck. So now with that said, the snow that's on the roof that has the rain gutters, when that melts, that will go into the rain barrels. So at least we're getting something out of it. Yeah, that'll be all right. At least I know I'm not going to have to worry about my food in the freezer going bad. It's cold enough. Here's a revelation. I got all excited about buying pancake mix and eggs so I can make breakfast. But first thing in the morning, I don't feel like doing that. So what I need to do is, like now for lunch coming up, make pancakes for lunch, right? And I could make a good batch of pancakes and then put them back in the freezer. Would make sense. Also, if I had the eggs boiled, I'd eat them. And if I had, that one time I scrambled eggs and put them back in the container, that worked out great. So that's kind of something I want to be thinking about, is just like food prep. Just pick one day, scramble a whole crap load of eggs kind of thing. That would make sense. So just gotta do it. Snow day. What else are you gonna do but make pancakes, right? First thing I did when I quit my job was to buy a bunch of breakfast stuff because I was going to have so much time. But what's happening lately is breakfast time, I don't feel like making pancakes. So it's all been sitting there. So I scrambled up some eggs and making pancakes now for lunch. And I'm going to make extras and then I'll put them in the freezer. And then I'll have something for next time for breakfast that'll just throw it in the microwave or something like that. Yeah. Guess I still know how to do this. Burnt the first couple. Getting it dialed in. It's the first time I don't remember if I've made pancakes out here before. I don't remember. Maybe I did once. I had to get at least one shot of the finished product, right? Not all of them are burnt. Sweet. Alright, not quite visible. It's about 43 degrees inside. It's finally starting to warm up. It's 20 after noon, after 12. Some of the snow is melted already. Sidewalk is dry. You can see wet spots over there. A lot of that's obviously gone. The snow on the motorcycle is melted. But we've got a pretty good bunch of snow out there still. Sun is kind of peeking through.
Yep. Anyway. Yeah, it's a lot of little puffs of snow in the bushes still. On the bushes. So my prediction is it's not all going to melt today. Anyway, moving on. Decided I needed some hot chocolate, and this was kind of funny. There's still ice in my coffee cup from overnight, so I was drinking out of the other cup over there. So let's make hot chocolate and melt the ice in the cup. That sounds like a good idea. Cool. Yeah. So at noon, 12:24 on the 5th of February, which is today, it's cool enough that I'm still wearing the hoodie inside. It's actually not too bad outside, but I don't have any burning desire to be out there right now. I don't have anything I really want to work on that, I'm going to get my boots wet, tromping around, which I did already this morning. So I think it's just going to be stay inside, drink my hot chocolate, eat my pancakes, do some writing. And now that I got some footage from the snow, maybe I'll go ahead and edit that and we'll put it up online. There you go. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. If you like the video, go ahead and click on thumbs up. This is just one of those weird little blips in the life in the desert. Yeah, in the last, 3 years? Coming up on 3 years? It's the first time I've actually had snow on the ground when I was here. I mentioned it earlier. A couple of years ago when I was living in the truck working in El Paso, the last time I was living in the truck, it snowed there while I was there, and I didn't get to see it here. So it's just kind of a fun thing one time to see it. Now I'm done with it again. For anybody that remembers my story or whatever, I'm from Canada, and it's nice once, and then I'm done. It's like, yeah, I don't miss snow at all, and I definitely don't miss being cold. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye for now.